Hello, dear students. Our lesson for today will be mainly related to your writing assignment, which I already sent, and I ask you to write a summary. I think I explained and I sent something for you related to the rubric for writing a summary. When we say a summary, you need to summarize certain text. When you summarize a certain text, it doesn't mean that you need to copy paste. It doesn't mean that you need to change the concept. No, you may summarize, and at the same time, if you're asked in the question itself, you need to add your own point of view. If you take a look at these two texts, putting our house in order and where our future lies, you can find them on page 148 in your student book in Pioneer. What you are exactly required to do. They ask you to read the two texts here. You need to write essay summarizing and evaluating the key points from both texts. So I told you before, when we have to read question, you find this question on page 148, which is F. So I need to write essay, a summary, and I need to evaluate the key points. When I have to evaluate something, you need to analyze and at the same time mention your own point of view. There is another thing which is very important. You need to use your own point, your own words throughout as far as possible. I think everybody knows, and we discussed this before. What does it mean when I use my own words? It means that you need to paraphrase. And at the same time, you need to include your own ideas in your answers. So now we need to read these two texts. We need to analyze both of them. We need to underline the main ideas. And then we need to write a summary mentioning the two ideas or different ideas or maybe one idea in both texts, and at the same time we need to mention our own. Now both of them, I think some students already read them, some students already sent me their drafts. They are about the space exploration, whether it's something recommended or not. I told you in any text you need to look all the time for the theme or the thesis statement. What exactly that text is about. Is it with the idea or against? It's not a question of whether we will benefit from space exploration or not, but of whether it should, at present, constitute a priority. So here they think that I have to think about the importance of space exploration and it will be number one in my schedule or not. On the other text, you will see that we might not know what the future holds, but one thing is for sure, space exploration will play an important role in ensuring the survival of our species. So here, I think it's very clear for you that in the second text or the other text, it is completely with the idea of the space exploration. Now, what exactly I supposed to do here? After you need to read this one, you need to use your dictionary for any new words. You need to look for the main ideas, again, with or against the idea of having space exploration. And after that, I need to go for the questions here. It was not a homework, but you need to look for this question to be able to know what exactly you're supposed to write in your summary. In the first question, each text consists of 2 points, ideas. Find them and underline them. And what is the underlying theme or topic of discussion in the text? If we go to the first one, we can do it together and you can think about the other one. You will find that here it is more important to deal with the problem that humankind faces here on Earth than to conduct a space research. So it means that I have to focus more on other problems. And again here, if we wait for space, can you see this part? If we are looking for this kind of research, maybe we are be a bit far away from other main problems. Okay, because we have to wait for decades before our findings will be of any practical value. These are 2 points. It's clear that it's not with the idea, and it is not our priority. So you need to find to do the same in the second one. Then after that, here there is a question here, which is question number 2. Question number 2, do the text contain opposing or complementary views? What do you think here about this? I think if you can read the two texts, I think you will find it will be very easy for you to know that they are not the same or they contain opposing views. Okay? Now, this question will help you a lot to write your own summary. Why? Here in activity E, the sentences were taken from the first text above, but they were not fully paraphrased. How would you further paraphrase them? What we're supposed to do here? You need to know something. Yes, this one. You will find this in your book. It's page 147. Okay, this is the page. I hope that you can see this well. You have this in the previous, the page, which is page 147. Okay. And in this exercise, which is exercise E, this is a very important exercise. Why? Because this will show you how to paraphrase and how you can use some words or phrases. I mean, they are like synonyms, but they still have the same meaning. Look here, read the sentences below and rewrite them using the words or phrases given. You have here 4 sentences, 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you notice, you will find all of them from page 148 from putting our house in order. This will help you a lot. If you can solve this one, this will help you a lot to paraphrase the first paragraph. Okay? Now, what again we supposed to do? Look at sentence number 1. We must bear in mind that resources, financial and otherwise, are scarce, so we have to decide how they can best be utilized. If you can check, you will find the sentence exactly in the text, which is putting our house in order. I need now to use this sentence or rewrite this sentence and using the word lose sight. What's I supposed to do here when I have to write the word lose sight? You need to go back to your dictionary and you need to know the meaning of this word, and then you have to come back to this exercise. Number 2, I need to look for the word priority. How can I use priority here in this place? And number 3, how can I use these 2 words in these 2 places? Now 2 gaps. And then finally, at risk. Again, if you go back to the exercise itself, you will find the same one. Here, we must, you see this one? We must, this is line number 4, line number 4 in the text. Let me show you. Yes. You see here what I mean? We must bear in mind that resources, financial and otherwise, are scarce. This is the same sentence which you can find in on page 147, number 1. What is the question here? What I supposed to do here? What you're supposed to do here, that you will find some of these sentences are written on exercise E, but still the writer keep on writing the same words. And we said that if you wanted to summarize a text, you need to use your own words. What we are going to do here, we are going to see exercise E and with the answers. Again, this is very important for you to see this exercise. Let's go back and check. Yes, this is the one. it will be really great if you have your sticky notes and try to write down everything written here in the paper. So I hope this will be clear for you. Yes, this is what I want you to do. This is exercise E. And we said that these sentences are the same, which you can find in the text on page 148, putting our house in order. And here they ask you to, how would you further paraphrase the words? Again, when we say paraphrase, it means that we need to look for other words, which are the same meaning. Look here. We must bear in mind that resources, financial and otherwise, are scarce, so we have to decide how they can best be utilized. If we are going to use the word lose sight, so how can we use lose sight here? You see the answer here? We must not lose sight of the fact that it's the same like this. Must not bear in mind it's mean that you lose sight. Okay? Look here, the words that I try to to change. The word resources, I can change it into reserves. The word financial, I can change it into the word economic. The word scarce, I can write the word limited. How can I find these words? I said before, you need to use your dictionaries and look for synonyms. Because if you keep on writing the same words, it means that you are not paraphrasing, you are just copying the same text. If we say that, we have to decide how they can best be utilized. We can change the form, and we can say that we can take the decision, or have to be reached. A certain decision have to be reached. Number 2, it's more important to deal with the problem that mankind faces here on Earth than to conduct space research. If we need to write this sentence or rewrite this sentence using the word priority. If you remember, we said before there is something called collocation. Collocation means some words they have to come together to give a certain meaning. So take priority over. So here, to write a sentence using this word and keep the meaning, dealing with the problem that humankind faces here on Earth must take priority over conducting space research. It's the same like this sentence, and I just added this one. But if we wanted to paraphrase, let's think about different words. If I say dealing with a certain problem, I can use this expression, getting the grips with. The word of problems can be some difficulties, and humankind faces. I can change the humankind. I can say the humanity is experiencing. To experience something is means to face something. In Earth, I can use the word our planet, and conducting space research means that like a kind of exploration, and so on. So please, we can go on for, we will do the same in sentences 3 and 4. Again, we find this sentence here. This sentence is taken directly from the text on page 148, putting our house in order. And you need to use some words here in the gaps. But when I have to use these words, you must put them in certain phrases, or they will be like a kind of collocations. And at the same time, you need to think about different words or synonyms for some words here. So when you have to write your own summary, we will not say that you are copying otherwise, because you will not take the mark. Limited resources, scarce resources, the disposal, instead of saying disposal, have at our disposal. This word, when something you cannot find shortage of, something urgent, something pressing, finding solutions, solving a certain problem. Instead of the word like, I can write the word such as. Imminent threats to humankind, it is written here, the star, seriously endanger humankind's survival, and so on. You see? So again, I just want you kindly to, you can make a pause in the video and you can just copy all this. This will help you a lot when you have to write the summary on the first text. Okay? So again, what exactly you supposed to do? You're supposed to read the two texts which are on page 148. And after reading these two texts, you need to understand them, of course. You need to analyze them. You need to underline the main ideas, and you need to see the theme, to check the theme or the teeth of the statement. And after that, you need to write this your summary. I think I already sent for you a plan. I think I sent it to all the students, and I think I already read it for you on the my the voice recorder that I sent. When you have to write a summary, you need to write an introduction, and you are going in the introduction. You need to introduce the topic of the essay, and you are going to underline the main theme. You can use the text reveals. The writers are both of the opinion that it's clear that the writers consider, and you start introducing your topic. I already sent this. If you haven't received this picture of the planning, just send to me. The main part of your writing, and you're going to summarize the key points referred in the text, and you are going to use some phrases like the text goes on to say, the text suggested that, the writers claim that, the writers of the opinion that, and finally, which is the most important part, the conclusion. Why it's very important? Because in the conclusion, you need to mention your own point of view. You're going to evaluate the ideas expressed in the text and express your personal point of view. If you wanted to begin expressing your own point of view, you need to write that it's my belief that, personally I believe, it's evident, it's clear, and so on. So again, you need to read, analyze, hold your pen or your pencil while you are reading. You need to select some concepts, you need to select some phrases, you need to look for if there is some lines that you need or you must write in your summary. Try to underline some of them and look for some synonyms. You need to integration, coherence, and cohesion. You need to organize your essay. You need to make a kind of elaboration, illustration to your idea. So as if you are moving from one point to another. You need to be neutral. Be neutral while you are mentioning the different point of views. Do not use short forms like aren't, isn't, don't. Usually in the writing we use a long form: do not, are not, and so on. Try to pay attention to your vocabulary. You see the vocabulary here? We need to use academic vocabulary. I think in the lesson itself, which I already sent for you on Sunday, you can see the rubric for the writing. And again, 20% of your final mark will be on that task. I'm still waiting for more work. I tried not to give a lot of things this week. I just wanted to concentrate on this writing task. Thank you very much, and best of luck.